Hi, everyone. I hope you all can see me now. Good morning and welcome to the 7th Atlantic Stakeholder Platform Conference. We have brought together high-level officials and experts and entrepreneurs for you today, and we have an amazing program. My name is Ylja, and I will be your host, and I am coming in from Oslo, Norway. So I feel very privileged to be here with you today. You will all have received already some session rules on email, but I will also go through them here so everybody knows what to do, because you can listen. This is so cool. You can listen to the conference in French, English, and Portuguese, and also Spanish using the app Interactio. And you download the app and then you log into the event with the code ASPC 2020. ASPC in big letters 2020, and then you click on play for the session that you prefer and you select the language. And also, we want to hear from you, so please send us your comments and questions using the chat function here on WebEx. And you should be able to locate this on the right-hand side of your screen. So then you just click the chat icon on the bottom right corner of WebEx. And I should also mention that the session is being recorded and we're live streaming to YouTube. And this is so cool. 500 of you have registered to meet today at the virtual conference. And it's very cool to have you all here this morning. And just like a little housekeeping to all the speakers, please just keep your camera off and your microphone on mute until I will give you the floor. There will also be a possibility to check out the virtual exhibition where you can meet and engage with the team members of some very inspiring Atlantic Showcase projects. So also another information is on the conference platform, which is called Conver. There is a possibility to set up one-on-one video conferencing meetings with participants, which can be potential collaborators, investors, or stakeholders. And it will be open until Friday, so there's lots of opportunities to follow up and book meetings. After lunch, there will be parallel workshops, which starts at 1. And let's go through a quick glance of our agenda for all of you who don't have it in front of you. Before lunch from 10 to 12, we will actually have some interesting keynote speakers, and then we will go through the Atlantic Action Plan, and then we will announce the winners of the Atlantic Project Awards, and then the parallel workshops based on the 4 pillars of the Atlantic Action Plan will be held, and we will be back again for a closing session at 4. So hope to see you joining in all day. So let's get moving and start with the opening session with a key message from Anik Jardin, Minister of the Sea of France, and Virginijus Sinkevicius. I'm sorry if I pronounce it not correctly. I'm from Norway, so I'm not used to all these foreign names, but it's lovely names, I think. And yes, so Virginijus is the European Commissioner for Environment and Oceans and Fisheries. So let's get it started.
Mesdames et messieurs, à défaut de en faveur de notre économie.
Pour cette première prise de parole à côté, je veux vous
Teresa, yes, you're on mute.
Hi, everyone. Okay, I'll start again. Thank you, Virginius and Anik. Our next speaker is very well known in the area of territorial cooperation, and she was formerly Director of Policy and Commissions for Eurocities and worked for the Council of European Municipalities and Regions. Please welcome Eleni Mariano, Secretary General of the Conference of Peripheral Maritime Regions. Eleni, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Hira. Thank you for this introduction. Je vais parler en français vu qu'il y a le participant et mon président de Nouvelle-Aquitaine qui va suivre. Et donc, je vais utiliser sa langue, la langue de Molière. Voilà, donc, je voudrais tout simplement nous mettre d'abord dans ce contexte actuel. Je pense que les orateurs précédents, ils ont bien situé l'Atlantique dans le cadre général européen d'aujourd'hui. Donc, nous sommes en train de vraiment de se battre contre ce que mon président actuel à la CRPM dit, trois ennemis invisibles. L'ennemi numéro un, c'est cette pandémie qui nous pèse toujours et qui crée des victimes un peu partout dans le monde, donc du Covid. Nous avons aussi l'ennemi invisible qui est celui du changement climatique qui pèse et qui a pesé et qui pèsera toujours tant qu'on n'aura pas trouvé de solution adéquate pour ceci. Et nous avons malheureusement ce problème, cet ennemi qui reviennent et en France en particulier ou dans d'autres parties de l'Europe, celui du terrorisme. Donc voilà, c'est un contexte compliqué pour nous tous. Donc pour moi, je pense que dans ces contextes-là, on a toujours dit qu'en Europe, on fera des petits pas, mais on les fera ensemble. Donc le cadre spécifique de cette stratégie atlantique qui met ensemble les 5, voire peut-être 4 là maintenant après, avec le Brexit, pays européennes pour travailler ensemble sur tous les défis qui ont été annoncés par les orateurs précédents et ces ennemis invisibles. Je pense que cette union va faire la force pour qu'on puisse vraiment en sortir et trouver à travers le plan de relance et à travers les activités des régions, un développement durable et un développement économique, social et territorial. Alors, les bonnes nouvelles dans tout ça, enfin ça a été des bonnes nouvelles, j'espère qu'on aura des bonnes décisions cet après-midi quand les chefs d'État se réunissent pour les budgets européens et les plans de relance. Donc la décision du juillet de cette année était quand même ambitieuse, on avait un grand paquet financier pour nous sortir de la crise. 1,8 trillion, donc je pense que c'est 1000 milliards en français. Donc ça, c'était ensemble le budget de l'Union européenne avec le plan de relance. C'est quand même très, très important que les chefs d'État ont pu arriver à un montant aussi important pour la relance. Malheureusement, on a deux difficultés. C'était que même à cette époque-là, même en juillet, on avait quand même une diminution du budget européen de 60 milliards, ce qui c'est pas rien du tout. Donc, c'est bien d'avoir un grand chiffre avec le total de ce qui est disponible pour la relance, mais c'est bien quand même de garder en tête que le budget européen que nous allons avoir, j'espère, très prochainement pour les 7 années à venir est en diminution, et en nette diminution. Et le deuxième mauvaise nouvelle, c'est que, comme vous le savez, la semaine dernière, la Hongrie et la Pologne a bloqué ce paquet pour les questions de la conditionnalité à la rule of law, qui est quelque chose de principes fondamentaux européens. Et donc ça pèse toujours, et les chefs d'État se réunissent aujourd'hui pour trouver une solution. Donc, voilà les contextes auxquels on baigne tous actuellement. Maintenant, l'Atlantique, l'espace atlantique, c'est un espace de vie, avec les pays membres qui participent, avec les entreprises qui participent, avec les régions qui participent, avec les citoyens qui sont là. Donc, c'est important, je pense, de le regarder et de voir comment est-ce qu'on peut, dans ces contextes actuels, mettre en œuvre la stratégie atlantique et l'articuler avec les différentes politiques européennes et les différents financements européens pour qu'on puisse mettre en œuvre ce que la stratégie et les piliers de la stratégie, comme ils les ont annoncé le commissaire tout à l'heure, peuvent vraiment, on peut le mettre en œuvre, parce que c'est bien de faire des grandes déclarations, mais c'est encore mieux de pouvoir les opérationnaliser à travers l'action des régions, à travers les activités dans les terrains, et ça, c'est très, très important. Alors, le région atlantique, en plus de tous les contextes que je viens de vous décrire, ils ont aussi à travailler et voir des solutions par rapport au Brexit. Donc, ça va peser évidemment au niveau de côte atlantique et les côtes de la mer du Nord. Vous savez que la CRPM travaille dans un contexte macro-régional avec des régions et des espaces maritimes dans les différents bassins maritimes. Donc, on travaille aussi avec la mer du Nord, aussi bien qu'avec l'Atlantique. Donc, du coup, évidemment, la partie Brexit aura des conséquences inévitables dans toute la façade atlantique. Et c'est important, évidemment, nous, autant que CRPM, avec nos commissions géographiques Atlantique et mer du Nord, on a été monté au créneau pour pouvoir avoir un accord au niveau du budget pour qu'on protège ou qu'on puisse quand même un petit peu aider financièrement ces régions-là qui, de manière inévitable, vont avoir des conséquences à cause du départ du Royaume-Uni. Et ça, c'est pas uniquement au contexte de la pêche, c'est au contexte de l'accessibilité, les ports, le développement économique. Il y a plein de choses, évidemment, qui vont avoir des conséquences pour nous. Et c'est important que l'Union européenne a pu finalement nous accorder ce qu'on demandait, un financement particulier pour ces côtes-là. Donc, 5 milliards, c'est pas beaucoup. Et nous, on essaye, autant que CRPM, avec nos régions, de travailler sur les propositions concrètes par rapport à comment est-ce qu'on peut, évidemment, utiliser de manière intelligente ces montants-là pour que les régions puissent quand même sortir des difficultés et des conséquences du Brexit. Alors, l'Atlantique, comme je le vois, ça peut et ça doit vraiment mener une stratégie globale. Je pense qu'on est dans une évolution. Récemment, j'ai vu qu'il y avait, après évidemment les élections aux États-Unis et donc Joe Biden qui, bon, tout va bien, n'est-ce pas, prennent donc le relais au niveau de la présidence aux États-Unis. Il y a 2 lettres qui déjà circulent au niveau du Benelux, les États membres du Luxembourg et de Pays-Bas et aussi de la Belgique essayent d'avoir une ouverture de cet Atlantique vers des espaces transatlantiques. Donc, on travaille entre nous. On travaille avec les régions insulaires des RUP, pourquoi pas, c'est une ouverture intéressante et on peut toujours faire un travail entre les Atlantiques et les îles, parce que pour le moment, le programme Interreg fait travailler les RUP entre eux, donc ce serait bien qu'on puisse travailler avec eux et aussi faire un travail plus global transatlantique, c'est quelque chose qui pourrait éventuellement être intéressant et je vais inscrire cette approche dans ce qu'on appelle la gouvernance. Donc la gouvernance où tout le monde s'implique. La gouvernance, comme on a dit, donc au-delà des frontières que nous avons en Europe, mais aussi la gouvernance à l'intérieur des frontières européennes. C'est important de mettre en évidence la présence des régions et qui sont quand même les acteurs principaux pour le développement économique dans toutes les parties de pays qui participent à la stratégie atlantique. Et on est obligé, je pense que ce sera la chose à faire de vraiment associer, et la ministre a dit qu'elle va associer les régions pour qu'on puisse quand même aboutir à un développement économique, social et territorial de longue durée. Parce que c'est eux qui savent où vraiment mettre l'argent et où vraiment on aura une valeur ajoutée pour des investissements et des retours en investissement. L'autre grand point que je voulais mettre ici, je pense que le commissaire l'a dit aussi, c'est que le Green Deal, donc tout ce qui est développement vert et bleu, parce que pour nous, vert et bleu, c'est pareil, hein, c'est les bleus qui contribuent au vert, etc. Et les développements donc de l'agenda politique européenne sur les Green Deal, c'est très important. Une grande partie des financements sera là-dessus. Et nous, autant qu'Atlantique, on peut vraiment contribuer à cet aspect de comment sortir de la crise de façon à ce que le développement économique qu'on fasse, ça soit vert. Donc, je suis tout à fait d'accord avec ce qu'elle a dit, la ministre, qu'il faut vraiment maintenant mettre l'accent sur tout ce qui est leader, comment l'Atlantique peut devenir le leader des énergies renouvelables. Et il faut aussi tenir compte du fait que l'Atlantique a souffert aussi des tempêtes, de la montée des eaux. Donc, il y a les changements climatiques a des positifs et des négatifs. Donc, on peut essayer d'utiliser la mer qui est notre atout, mais qui est aussi les dangers en face de nous, parce que toutes les régions et tous les pays atlantiques, ils vont faire face à des problèmes de changement climatique énormes. Donc, le fait que nous voulons faire un travail de développement avec le Green Deal et avec le fléchage de l'argent, du montant qu'on va faire, 30% quand même, pour tout ce qui est développement vert et bleu, je pense que là, l'Atlantique a comme vocation vraiment de en profiter et de faire un maximum pour devenir les leaders des énergies renouvelables, parce qu'on a de tout, on a parlé du offshore, le commissaire en a parlé, donc ça on peut toujours développer, on en a de vagues, de marées, on a des possibilités de faire vraiment un grand pas vers cette relance par rapport à travers les énergies renouvelables. Et là aussi, c'est important de tenir en compte les régions et leurs contributions sur comment est-ce qu'ils peuvent contribuer aux investissements et travailler main dans la main avec l'Europe et les États membres et les entreprises privées vers cet développement. C'est important de tenir toujours ça en compte. Au niveau du financement, je pense que le commissaire en a parlé. Il y a donc le grand paquet dont je vous ai parlé tout à l'heure, mais il y a aussi la Banque européenne d'investissement. Donc là, éventuellement, pour de gros projets de développement économique ou de projets, par exemple, des énergies renouvelables, on peut très bien utiliser les montants dédiés aux activités vertes que la banque va utiliser, va dispenser pour nous. Et là, on parle quand même d'un 1 trillion, donc voilà, et de montant qui est à disposition, donc c'est important. Je vais finaliser mon intervention courte pour dire que la partie connectivité est aussi très importante pour l'Atlantique. C'est quelque chose où les ports, on doit le voir vraiment comme une ouverture vers le commerce, comme une ouverture vers l'innovation. Donc, toute possibilité pour que les ports se connectent entre eux au niveau de l'Atlantique, dans le cadre aussi de réseaux transeuropéens de transport ou de l'énergie, c'est vraiment quelque chose d'important. Nous, à la CRPM, on y travaille avec, évidemment, nos commissions géographiques. L'Arc Atlantique est très active en la matière. Et évidemment, c'est lié aussi au sujet du Brexit, de la connectivité avec l'Irlande, du moment que, évidemment, le Royaume-Uni serait un État tiers. Donc, toute cette partie cohésion territoriale, c'est importante. Et je finalise pour parler un peu de jeunes, parler un peu du maritime, de façon à ce que les professions maritimes puissent être vraiment devenir attractives pour les jeunes, parce que malheureusement, je trouve encore les jeunes sont beaucoup plus attirés par tout ce qui est web et digital, etc., mais moins sur tout ce qui est métier maritime, métier de la mer. Je pense qu'on peut vraiment très bien coordonner le métier de la mer traditionnel avec la partie digitale ou la partie plus attractive aux jeunes, mais faire en sorte qu'il y ait des formations spécialisées qui puissent vraiment former les personnes ou reformer ces personnes qui ont perdu leur travail à cause de problèmes sur certains secteurs traditionnels de la mer, et essayer vraiment d'utiliser ces potentiels des ressources humaines avec des formations spécifiques pour le métier de la mer. Je rêve toujours d'une possibilité d'avoir une sorte une académie maritime dans l'espace de l'Atlantique ou de l'espace de la mer du Nord, dans nos espaces maritimes que nous avons à la CRPM, pour bien faire associer évidemment les entreprises vers les métiers demandés, les jeunes et les universités vers les formations plus focusées, enfin plus sur les besoins des entreprises et sur les nouvelles activités qu'on aimerait lancer dans le cadre de nos piliers de la stratégie et des renouvellements de cette stratégie à travers les différents plans d'action. Voilà, c'est tout ce que je voulais vous dire à titre d'introduction. Félicitations à cette conférence et à tous les orateurs qui ont parlé avant moi, qui parleront après. Et voilà, tous mes voeux pour une réussite de cet événement. Merci.
Thank you, Eleni. Now we will move directly over to the panel discussion on the new Atlantic Action Plan 2.0. And I will give the floor to Christos Economou, Deputy Director of the Maritime Policy and Blue Economy for the Director General for Maritime Affairs and Fisheries at the European Commission. Christos, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Welcome. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning to all. And I'm very pleased to join you to this virtual event. And unfortunately, I'm talking to you from Brussels, like most of the other participants have to stick with their computers today. But I think it is already a success to gather so many people around this important annual event to celebrate the Atlantic strategy. And we have a dedicated workshop today to discuss the revised Atlantic Action Plan, because clearly we have to mark this occasion because to look more into the detail, what is this new plan? And I think the distinguished speakers in this roundtable discussion will allow us to enter more into the detail of it, how we do promote the blue economy, how do we promote sustainability in maritime business and the different sectors with this new action plan. So let me give you a little bit the background and set the scene for the discussion. So as most of you know, the Commission adopted an updated action plan for the Atlantic strategy, the Atlantic Maritime Strategy, on 23rd of July. And clearly here we address the Atlantic area covering 4 countries now: France, Ireland, Portugal, and Spain. Not the 5 countries that have been originally part of this strategy, for reasons that you also know quite well. The original action plan showed results already. It's there for a number of years. And when we had a review of the results, we did that back in 2018, we discovered that there were 100 new maritime projects targeting environmental protection, connectivity, social inclusion in the Atlantic area, and that represented nearly 6 billion euros. So we can say that the first action plan of the strategy delivered results. But also, on the occasion of the review, we had the opportunity to look into the shortcomings, weaknesses. And this is actually why we came up also with this new action plan, to address these weaknesses. Basically, to look more into thematic focus, to make it more concrete and therefore more action-oriented. Then to develop a monitoring and evaluating performance framework, which was not there from the beginning, and also strengthen governance and better involve the regions. I'm very pleased that I'm talking right after the representative from CPMR, Eleni Marianu, because it's clearly, I think, a sign that regions are there and their presence was, I think, so far very supportive to the strategy, and I suppose and I hope that they would be even more involved in the future. Now, the updated action plan is a result of bottom-up consultations, clearly, but it comes also in a period where the context changed, and the previous speakers also referred to that, with the European Green Deal, where we really need to look into a more inclusive, sustainable model for regional development. And also, it comes also at the time where we have the experience of the previous action plan and what type of concrete actions we need to take up. I think the speakers will clearly help us to look into the different priorities, but let me clearly refer to the targets that we have in the action plan for the reduction of CO2 emissions, with the development of renewable energy, with the fight against marine pollution, the creation of new jobs, and also adaptation to climate change by improving coastal observation and coastal protection. Now, I have also to say that the plan continues with the strong international dimension, which was there through the Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance, including USA, Canada, Brazil, South Africa. So this is a cross-cutting theme on research and innovation, which is there in the plan. And the governance mechanism. And I believe we will have, I think now with the pillar coordinators, we will enter into this discussion. Now, let me say that we are looking into a region, the Atlantic area is the one which represents the biggest percentage for the EU blue economy growth value ended. I mean, we have a yearly report on blue economy, which is prepared by the Commission, by DG Mare, and it shows that the Atlantic Sea Basin represents 36% of the global EU blue economy gross value added. So it is a very important sector. I think the Atlantic needs this focus on maritime, and I believe that all the countries participate will contribute in shaping this action plan into and make the best out of it. I also refer to into the context, and I think we are looking now globally in Europe to recovery efforts and to the way we can support national economies to recover from the COVID crisis. I think measures have been taken at European level, at national level, at regional level. So this new Atlantic Action Plan is also very timely in this respect. The countries prepare recovery and resilience plans, national plans, using budget which will be available from the EU funds for dedicated action for recovery, and it offers a very good basis for promoting the maritime business and promoting also the recovery path of blue economy and the path of transformation we need for under the Green Deal. So we can write a beautiful success story with this action plan and turn the blue into gold. So I hope that we will enter into this period of implementation with very good perspectives. And now I think our panelists will help us in understanding more the content of this action plan. I would like to present them to you. First of all, I will present them all together because I think we need to see what exactly they will. It is the composition which is very interesting, and then we enter into their presentations. First of all, we have as the first speaker, Mr. Liam Lacey, who is Director at Paris Maritime Development Office and Pillar Coordinator of the Ports Pillar of the New Atlantic Action Plan. Then we have as next speaker, Mrs. Ana Ona, Executive Director at Ciência Viva in Portugal, who is nominated as Pillar Coordinator for Blue Skills related themes. Then we have Mr. Olaj Azura Astobiza from the Basque Energy Agency, who is Pillar Coordinator for the Marine Renewable Energy Pillar of the Action Plan. Then we have Mr. Philippe Monbet from Paul Mer Bretagne, who has been nominated as Pillar Coordinator for the Coastal Resilience and Healthy Oceans Pillar. And also we have, last but not least, to talk us about the international dimension of the action plan, Mrs. Laura McDonough, who is representing the DG Research and Innovation, who are very much allies in this effort to support actions on marine and maritime affairs through innovation. So my first question, and this is actually a common question to all the panelists, is to give us their perspective about the challenges and the deliverables in their respective thematic pillar. I didn't enter into the detail myself because I think they have presentations. They will explain what these pillars are and how they plan to deliver. I have to say that they are all nominated through a process under the dedicated governing body of the Atlantic strategy. So they're all very new in the function, but certainly they have all the experience which is needed to deliver. So I will give first the floor to Mr. Liam Lessie, and please, the floor is yours. Give us your perspective, if you can, in about 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Christos, and good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Great. First of all, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you about the Atlantic strategy, and in particular, the role that ports will play in meeting the strategy's objectives. The subject that we will be discussing is very poignant at this moment in time, when connectivity between member states and with the rest of the world has been disrupted because of the COVID-19 pandemic. As gateways for trade and tourism and as conduits for cultural exchange, our ports have always had the capacity to bring us together and will again in the future. I think we all look forward to the time when our ports again bustle with people moving freely, evidence of our interconnectedness and interdependencies. It's an honor and a pleasure to have the role as pillar coordinator. I would like to thank colleagues in other member states for their support for our application, and to thank the Atlantic Strategy Committee for the progress that has been made thus far, which will create a strong foundation from which we can build. We look forward to working collaboratively with the task force on a shared agenda that will advance the ambitions of the strategy and strengthen the profile of ports from an economic, environmental, social and cultural perspective. Next slide, please. Just to introduce my own organisation, the Irish Maritime Office, very briefly. We are a statutory agency operating under the aegis of the Department of Transport, as shown in the diagram. We are deeply involved in all matters maritime, including, of course, shipping and ports and a range of related activities. We are located within the Marine Institute, a research institute with deep connections with fisheries, aquaculture, ocean science and climate change. This structure access to a broad range of marine and maritime sectors with a wealth of expert domain expertise and knowledge. Next slide, please. The IMDO has 4 distinct areas of activity. We provide advice and research to the Department of Transport and the Minister. We work on developing the maritime industry at a national level. However, mindful of the global nature of the maritime industry, we also encourage international companies to participate, and Ireland is very well served by international shipping companies who are leaders in their respective modes of transport. We also work to ensure a steady flow of maritime professionals from our National Maritime College in Cork and other third-level institutions. This work makes a rich contribution to the success of the maritime industry in Ireland. Next slide, please. It's such a great pity that we're not meeting in person, but just briefly to introduce some members of the project team. On the left is Adele O'Connor. Adele has a background in computer science and information technology. She heads the business development function within the IMDO. Paul Brewster on the right is an engineer who has enormous experience in the area of renewable energy and business consulting. He's responsible for EU policy advice within the IMDO. And in the middle is myself. I'm an accountant by background with years of experience in the shipping and ports industry. Next slide, please. Here we summarize some of the current projects that we're involved in with other member states. Lots of these projects support the ambitions of the Atlantic strategy. We have a fast trade lanes project, which uses technology to improve the efficiency of transport between member states. This is a pilot project currently involving Ireland and France, but has the potential to be rolled out to include other routes and other member states. The Ealing project specialises in the area of cold ironings and feeds into the sustainability agenda. The Port Accelerator project links into creating hubs, economic hubs at ports, and feeds into the business development agenda. The Marinet project deals with the area of creating skills within the European Union to advance the ambitions of the Atlantic strategy and the maritime industry overall. And the Maritech X project in Cyprus seeks to establish a marine institute in Cyprus, building on experience and success that we've had in Ireland in doing a similar project. Finally, just to touch briefly on two areas of research which are hugely important in terms of advancing our maritime ambitions, particularly as they relate to ports. We're involved in some research in relation to building sustainable ports and what exactly that means. We're seeking to create a roadmap to sustainability for our ports. The socioeconomic work that we're involved in seeks to establish in an independent, objective and irrefutable way the enormous socio-economic value that developing our ports brings to national and European economies. Next slide, please. So there are so many different areas where we could lay emphasis, so many potential priorities, but uppermost amongst them, I would argue, includes maintaining ports as gateways for trade and tourism. This is an essential function of ports and always will be. Ports as economic hubs for emerging sectors such as offshore renewable energy and aquaculture. The digitalization agenda is something that is worthwhile paying attention to, creating smart ports, port community systems, and using technology to improve efficiency and connectivity. And the sustainability agenda, we would argue, has to be embedded in the work that we do. It's not an add-on, it's a fundamental part of the development of ports as we move forward. Next slide, please. Here you have two images of two ports. The one on the left is real. That's the port of Galway on the west coast of Ireland. The one on the right is a futuristic view of what ports could look like. The journey that we are embarking on over the next year will move us some of the way from our traditional understanding of ports and how they operate more towards a futuristic view of ports. We have no idea yet how long we're going to move along that journey, but it will be an exciting and interesting time, and we very much look forward to playing our role in developing our ports, making them fit for purpose in the future, and contributing enormously to the achievement of the Atlantic strategy. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Liam. And I think we enter into really the detail of the action plan and the way you are motivated to work on port-related issues and connectivity. I would like to give also now the floor to our next speaker, Mrs. Ana Noronha, Executive Director at Ciência Viva in Portugal. And she will give us the overview and also the ambitions around the blue skills related theme of the action plan. So the floor is yours.
So, good morning, everybody. I am very pleased to be here and for this opportunity to collaborate with all the pillars on this important part, which is the part related to human resources, to people, from the beginning in school to the upper university and the job market. Now, may I just recall, can I have the next slide, please? Okay. Okay. So let me just recall briefly what are the main targets of the main goals of the blue skills and the future and ocean literacy. So, of course, we need to attract young talent to the blue economy and to foster competitiveness. And for this, blue education and training are paramount. It is important that the brightest students, the brightest minds are attracted to blue economy and also to have a very qualified workforce. It is important to foster sea-based cooperation and the cross-border circulation because there are very good experiences and best practices in different sea basins, and Europe is one continent, right? And it is important not to forget ocean literacy. Ocean literacy has been defined as ocean literate citizens can adapt their everyday behavior to make informed and responsible decisions that promote ocean stewardship in a co-creation approach. In a co-creation approach means what we are also doing here at this stakeholder conference is by consulting, by involving the different stakeholders. I am particularly happy to be serving in this panel because Portugal has a valued experience in this regard, either through the Direction General of Maritime Policy of the Ministry of the Sea, and also by Ciência Viva, the institution I come from, which is an institution to promote public awareness of science and that has been very much dedicated to ocean literacy lately. In particular, we have been involved in the goal statement and now in the Belém statement in the CSAs that accompany these two cooperation agreements. Now, one of the goals is related to quality education, training, and lifelong learning. I am very pleased to have a task force that includes very qualified people in these areas. And what has been identified as actions, which are also our challenges, is identify blue skill gaps. Then it is also to harmonize data collection in the area of blue careers, because there are many projects, many countries, but we must make sure that data collection is made in the same way, in a way that is understandable, usable by everybody. And of course, promote liaison centers, and foster cooperation between businesses and training providers. Sometimes there is a bit of a decoupling between those who actually train people and universities and the needs in terms of blue skills that are in businesses. Another important action is to promote best practices for matchmaking employers and job seekers. And of course, having available platforms that have announced job opportunities to harvest their potential for blue jobs. So organize the information, harmonize, and foster cooperation between businesses and training providers are very important actions if we want to achieve this goal. Okay, then there is another goal, which is ocean literacy. And what has been proposed is to create a pilot curriculum in Atlantic Ocean literacy, and a KPI that is in the action plan is to create 25 Atlantic Blue Schools by 2025. Where here I can say that we are right now creating a network of European Blue Schools for DG Mare, and there are more than 100 candidates. So I think that regarding this action, it will be very well achieved. Then one of the important topics is to create an ocean literacy component in relevant projects that has been taken into account by DG RTD by requiring that projects funded now under Horizon 2020 and I hope under Horizon Europe have an ocean literacy component. And other important parts now is when we call ocean literacy component, this means disseminating to the public, outreach to the public, but also to the younger generations. And in the younger generations, we have the blue schools, as I told you before, but we have also to harness the potential and interests of young people for the ocean. So there are now currently 2 sets of ambassadors being trained. One under the All Atlantic Research, the Anchor project, which is connected to the Belém statement. And we started with the All Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance. So there are a group of young people being trained to disseminate and to do actions of outreach for society. And again, under DG Mare, there is a forum being created of very active young people who will also disseminate the ocean and promote ocean awareness and the importance of blue economy. Then, of course, it is important to engage the citizens in ocean-related actions and to commemorate European Maritime Day and World Ocean Day. This is being planned by the EU4Ocean platform that is being set by DG Mare. Again, it's this platform that is creating this network of European blue schools. As I told you, Portugal is a good example to be able to, let's say, share the experience and hear from the others' experience because we have set up a network, a national network of blue schools called Escola Azul. And we also have very active NGOs in the area of the sea. So I hope that I can give my modest contribution in this area. Also, finally, I would like to show to you how these 2 things are interconnected. There is no blue skills of the future without ocean literacy. And ocean literacy is very important for the blue skills, not only of the future, but also on the present. We need to nurture the blue skills of tomorrow. And we need also blue professionals as role models in society for citizens to understand the importance of the ocean and the importance of blue economy in their lives. It is important that they show up, that they are visible. Also that to see that blue careers are successful careers. Nowadays, highly qualified careers. We have to end the stigma where blue careers are not considered as skilled, good, nice careers for your children to get in, for your sons and daughters to go into. We must show them the diversity of careers. And we believe that all these actions that I have mentioned before can all be put together, connected, blue schools with the young people, with the research projects, having outreach plans, all these fits. Also, this will involve transversally all the pillars. You see here, this image was taken in a port, in an outreach project that we organized for families in summer, where they could participate in activities at the port. So this can be achieved and it will involve all the pillars. So thank you. I think it's all that I wanted to say. Maybe we'll continue during the discussion.
Well, thank you very much, Anna. I think we got a very good impression of the content that we expect the pillar will deliver. And clearly, we are in a very good path. Skills and ocean literacy are in the heart of developing the new business, of developing the new generation of people keen to enter into this innovative business and to the blue economy sector. So thank you very much for your presentation. And now I'm coming to our next speaker, Oleg Azura Astobiza from the Basque Energy Agency, who will give the perspective from the pillar, which will definitely need workforce in future, as it is about marine renewable energy. So this is the third pillar of the action plan. So the floor is yours, and I think you have also a presentation, so please.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Christophe, and welcome everyone. And thank you very much for inviting us to this presentation and give the orientations of this Pillar 3 in relation to marine renewable energies. I will just want to say that I will continue my presentation in Spanish, so for those that need interpretation, please. Entonces, bueno, primeramente quería comentar que desde el EVE, desde mi organización, que es la Agencia de Energía del Gobierno Vasco, no solo tenemos el privilegio de coordinar este Pilar 3 sobre energías renovables marinas, sino que también coordinamos el grupo de trabajo de la Comisión. Entendemos que este hecho nos permitirá coordinar un poquito mejor todas las actuaciones, sumar fuerzas para conseguir el objetivo que nos planteamos en ambos grupos, que no es otro que acelerar el despliegue de las energías renovables marinas en el espacio atlántico. Okay. De sobra sabemos que el recurso es inmenso, tanto de las olas, de las corrientes de marea como del viento. Sin embargo, para su despliegue nos encontramos con algunas barreras que no siempre son tecnológicas, son de otra índole. Y para ello, lo que proponemos en este grupo de trabajo es trabajar con un modelo de triple hélice. Es decir, trabajar intensamente con la industria, los centros tecnológicos, con la academia en las universidades y con los gobiernos, tanto regionales como nacionales. Y obviamente colaboraremos estrechamente con todas aquellas direcciones generales de la Comisión Europea implicadas en el tema de las energías renovables marinas. Sabemos que el sector de las energías renovables marinas será un sector europeo, no solo atlántico, y por lo tanto, si bien los esfuerzos se centrarán en promover proyectos para el Atlántico, colaboraremos con el resto de las comisiones geográficas de la CRPM, nos fijaremos en los planes europeos, tales como la recientemente publicada Offshore Renewable Energy Strategy o los diferentes set plan de energías marinas, y en cualquier caso pues con todas aquellas estrategias o planes que puedan ayudar a alcanzar los objetivos que nos planteamos en este grupo. La forma de trabajo que proponemos es la siguiente. El grupo de trabajo de la Comisión del Arco Atlántico proponemos que principalmente las personas que compongan este grupo sean de un perfil técnico, cuyo objetivo sea trabajar en las acciones y medidas definidas en un plan que ya hemos esbozado y que próximamente presentaremos. Este grupo se reunirá en base cuatrimestral, más o menos, de forma ordinaria y elaborará los documentos necesarios con las propuestas concretas para el sector. Por otro lado, tendremos el grupo de trabajo del Pilar 3. Nos gustaría que las personas que compongan este grupo sean principalmente personas con capacidad de decisión. Las tareas de este grupo serán principalmente recibir y analizar los documentos y las propuestas planteadas por el grupo de trabajo y influir en los órganos correspondientes para implementar esas medidas o esos proyectos o estas demandas que resulten del grupo de trabajo. Tal y como os he comentado, bueno, el plan está en fase borrador, a expensas de recibir comentarios por parte de las diferentes regiones y Estados miembros del arco atlántico. Lo que hemos intentado con este plan es definir un poquito mejor y concretar esas acciones que ya eran un poco concretas, pero se nos quedaban un poquito un poco alto nivel, que vienen del plan de acción del arco atlántico, el 2.0. Pues bueno, hemos definido hemos hecho una descripción de esas tareas, hemos fijado un periodo de tiempo en las que alcanzar y bueno, con la idea de acelerar esa implementación de proyectos en el arco atlántico. Por lo tanto, esta va a ser la manera de trabajar, bueno, según nuestra propuesta. Estamos abiertos a recibir comentarios tanto al plan de acción, en cuanto a sus medidas específicas, en cuanto a la manera de trabajar. Invitamos a todas aquellas organizaciones, personas que trabajan en este área temática, pues que nos contacten y que si consideran que pueden aportar a la implementación de este plan, pues se unan a nuestros grupos de trabajo. Muchas gracias.
Well, thank you very much, Olaj. And clearly, you seem to have organized the work very well for the next months to deliver on this pillar. Let me also recall that the European Commission is issuing a new strategy on offshore renewable energy. So I think that will provide clearly a very good basis for the work you foresee under this pillar. And let me not take more time, but to come to our fourth pillar coordinator, Monsieur Philippe Bombay from Pôle Mer Bretagne, who will really introduce the work that and the plans for the pillar dealing with coastal resilience and healthy oceans in the action plan. Please, the floor is yours. Try to keep it in 5 minutes, please.
Yes, thank you, Christos, for that. And I'm actually from Pôle Mer Bretagne Atlantic. I think this word has some meaning today. So it's good to be there. So I'm going to switch in French, if you don't mind, because I want to honor the last momentum of our presidency, and I have the luxury choice to do it in French today. So I'm going to do it like this.
Please.
Yeah. Quelques mots sur mon institution, donc, qui est un cluster d'innovation basé dans l'ouest de la France, en Bretagne et Pays de la Loire, et qui a des membres sur toute la façade atlantique, et qui est un cluster triple helix, comme ça a été indiqué tout à l'heure, et qui vise à faire la promotion de l'innovation en rassemblant différents membres des entreprises, des académiques et des organisations professionnelles au bénéfice du développement de l'économie bleue durable. Donc on est vraiment bien en lien avec la stratégie atlantique. Et sur un plan plus personnel, je suis moi-même océanographe, donc biogéochimiste et fils d'océanographe. J'ai eu la chance de travailler dans le golfe de Gascogne plusieurs années et j'ai une vraie sensibilité à la santé des écosystèmes côtiers et océaniques, et donc ça tombe très bien dans le cadre de cette coordination du 4e pilier autour de la résilience et de la santé des écosystèmes marins. Si on peut passer à la prochaine slide. Donc vous voyez ici sur la droite, je vais décrire un petit peu le cadre, mais sur la droite ce qu'est aujourd'hui un petit peu l'océan et le milieu côtier, même si tout le monde préférerait qu'il soit sans doute vide et joli et sauvage. Aujourd'hui, ça n'est pas le cas et il faut s'accorder à concilier et à optimiser les activités maritimes qui sont grandissantes, hein. C'est vraiment l'économie bleue demain et l'économie bleue durable est en pleine croissance. Les chiffres de l'OCDE le montrent, hein. D'ici à 2030, on va doubler le chiffre d'affaires lié à l'économie bleue. Donc ça fait que de toute façon, les écosystèmes, et j'apprends rien à personne, les écosystèmes côtiers et océaniques sont très fragiles, et en particulier sur la côte atlantique qui est un lieu de passage et d'activité important. Et avec cette augmentation des activités humaines, on a bien sûr plus de risques de pollution, du underwater noise, de l'acoustique sous-marine qui est plus élevée, et bien sûr aussi des déchets, en particulier les déchets plastiques qui sont vraiment aujourd'hui reconnus par tous en forte augmentation. Sur ça s'ajoute, bien sûr, et tout le monde en a été témoin, et en particulier ceux qui vivent au bord de la mer, des problèmes liés au changement climatique, avec des événements météorologiques extrêmes, des problèmes de submersion, des tempêtes à répétition et des inondations, qui font que ça rend encore plus les écosystèmes fragiles. Donc on a besoin d'avoir des mesures d'adaptation autour de la protection de la biodiversité et des habitats, et en particulier sur le milieu côtier qui abrite beaucoup de nurseries et de vie marine, et d'avoir des activités économiques qui soient plus durables et plus respectueux de l'environnement, et ainsi aussi améliorer le développement d'économies circulaires. On peut passer à la diapositive suivante. Donc, dans le cadre de la révision du plan Atlantique et dans le cadre de ce pilier, il y a deux objectifs et des actions concrètes qui sont bien définies. Donc, la première, c'est augmenter la résilience des écosystèmes côtiers. Et pour ça, on a besoin d'actions concrètes qui sont en particulier notre capacité à observer et à surveiller ces écosystèmes et à pouvoir donner des systèmes ou mettre en place des systèmes d'alerte qui vont nous permettre d'intervenir et de faire de la prévention dès lors qu'il y aura des choses anormales qui se passent. Donc, il est aussi important pour les activités touristiques qui se développent de plus en plus d'avoir de s'assurer de faire la promotion de pratiques plus durables. On voit notamment quelques nouvelles agences de voyage qui sont vraiment très éco-responsables, et il faut aller dans cette direction. Il faut aussi, et en particulier sur les phénomènes de sédimentologie et d'érosion du trait de côte, pouvoir mettre en place des mesures de protection qui soient basées sur des systèmes plus naturels et moins invasifs en termes pour nous d'infrastructures que l'on met en mer. Et bien sûr, ça a été dit tout à l'heure, impliquer les communautés, j'ai mis la communauté, mais c'est plutôt les communautés en termes d'information et d'éducation pour qu'on reconsidère vraiment l'océan comme dans son rôle majeur dans notre vie. Et enfin, bien sûr, intégrer à travers le Marine Spatial Planning, donc les risques associés et la gestion de l'espace et des activités. Donc ça, c'est vraiment pour le premier objectif. Et le deuxième objectif qui est vraiment lié et qui va vraiment plutôt vers la protection contre les pollutions. Il faut mieux comprendre et identifier les sources de pollution, et en particulier, dans le cadre de la stratégie atlantique, on a vraiment un focus sur les déchets marins, les macro-déchets marins, et en particulier les plastiques. Pour ça, il faut passer de la stratégie d'identification aujourd'hui à la partie vraiment expérimentation. On a travaillé beaucoup et la science a amené beaucoup sur les flux, d'où viennent les pollutions, où est-ce qu'elles sont. Mais maintenant, il faut pouvoir détecter et puis expérimenter pour avoir vraiment des projets pilotes. Il faut donc, comme je l'ai dit tout à l'heure, développer un petit peu plus l'économie circulaire et aller en ce sens à travers notamment des systèmes de certification ou des aides, des incentives pour pouvoir promouvoir ces activités basées sur l'économie circulaire. Ouais, je peux aller directement je n'avais pas vraiment fini, mais c'est bon, je vais aller directement à nos actions. Donc, c'est les premières propositions d'action qui visent vraiment à aller et à soutenir le pilier 4, qui sont donc capitaliser bien sûr sur une des missions Green Deal qui est le Healthy Ocean, Seas and Coastal and Inland Waters, et en particulier dans cette mission auquel on a contribué déjà, il y a un volet zéro pollution qui est bien en ligne avec cet effort stratégie atlantique. Bien sûr, fédérer les efforts pour adresser les directives européennes, je pense en particulier à la DCSMM, directive cadre stratégie milieu marin et directive cadre eau, mais vraiment de la partie européenne au bassin, à une échelle de bassin et une échelle locale. Aujourd'hui, on voit que la directive cadre stratégie milieu marin, elle a de la peine, c'est vraiment dur de la mettre en place. Donc là, il y a un vrai effort de bassin à faire. Engager les communautés locales sur l'alignement justement de ces politiques publiques et des actions qui sont menées. Accroître nos coopérations, et ça c'est très très important, et aujourd'hui on sait très bien que le bassin atlantique c'est un bien commun, et les eaux atlantiques ne s'arrêtent pas aux frontières administratives des régions, et donc il faut vraiment accroître cette coopération entre nous, entre acteurs, et là je pense que les activités d'interclustering ont un vrai rôle à jouer. Et enfin, les deux derniers points, donc faire la promotion des infrastructures et de l'excellence de chaque région. On sait qu'ici et là, on a des tests, des zones de test, par exemple, dans le Pays Basque pour des énergies marines renouvelables. On a des grosses infrastructures, des bassins d'essai dans différentes régions sur l'Atlantique, et c'est important que dans le cadre de projets comme Marinette, on puisse continuer à se baser là-dessus et avancer plus vite ensemble. Et enfin, valoriser et faire la promotion des atouts que l'Europe a construits. Je pense particulièrement au projet Copernicus et à Emonnet. Voilà, tout ça doit être fait bien sûr en bonne entente avec les autres piliers pour avancer dans le bon sens. Voilà.
Ok. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much for the actions that you already foresee, and also the focus that you brought to the objectives of this fourth pillar. Very, very important for the Atlantic region indeed. But I would like to advance also with our fifth speaker, the colleague from DG Research and Innovation. Laura, please give us this cross-cutting dimension of research and innovation as part of the New Atlantic Action Plan. And please try to do your best to keep in time. Laura, I hope you are there with us.
I am, Christos. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Great. Good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be with you this morning to present, as Christos mentioned, the international dimension of the Atlantic Action Plan. So the All-Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance is the result of science diplomacy efforts involving countries from both sides of the Atlantic Ocean, aiming at enhancing marine research and innovation cooperation along and across the Atlantic from pole to pole. The Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance between the European Union, Canada and the United States was launched with the signature of the Galway Statement on Atlantic Ocean Cooperation in May 2013. Following the success of the Galway Statement, the European Union, Brazil and South Africa co-signed the Belém Statement on Atlantic Ocean Research and Innovation Cooperation in July 2017. With the Galway and Belém statements, our joint vision is to bring together and systemically connect all relevant actors across the Atlantic to identify concrete research and innovation activities with a long-lasting potential and impact. So then, more recently, in 2018, the European Commission signed bilateral administrative arrangements with Argentina and Cabo Verde, respectively, which effectively brought them under the umbrella of the Belém statement. So as we take a systemic approach to the challenges and the opportunities offered by the Atlantic Ocean, we have now moved towards the All-Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance, joining the efforts under the Galway and Belém statements. So before I go into kind of any major detail, this is just kind of a slide to highlight to give you a general overview of the different Horizon 2020 projects that we have funded from 2014 to 2019, which focus on marine and maritime. So all the information on these projects is available on Cordis and is open access. But I would just like to now highlight those that are relevant to the Atlantic. To implement the Galway and Belém statements, the EU has invested in over 40 projects with over €200 million to promote cooperation between European and international scientists and research from around the Atlantic. The first of these Horizon 2020 funded projects may be coming to an end, but this is really just the beginning. For example, the Atlantis project has defined a blueprint for an all-Atlantic Ocean observing programme, which aims to give continuity to the efforts of the project. So the other projects that you see on screen here, for example, Triatlas, Mission Atlantic, and Sponges, they exist because of the Galway and Belém statement and the continued political mandate to implement them, and have produced fantastic results and key deliverables for our cooperation. And I just wanted to highlight that we have the Anchor Coordination and Support Action, which supports the implementation of the Belém Statement and our vision of building an all-Atlantic community. The database that you see on the screen here has many initiatives, and it will be updated by the end of the year with more different initiatives collected under the CSA activities. So I really invite you to have a look at their portal and to learn all about these different ongoing initiatives. Now, so in 2019, the Alliance launched a Youth Ambassador Programme, as Anna briefly mentioned earlier in her presentation, which aims to empower the next generations to become actors of change in their communities by promoting the sustainable development and stewardship of the Atlantic. The first summer school was held in Galway, Ireland last year, where the ambassadors met and received training and support to develop their campaigns and to reach out to local communities, engage decision makers, as well as to work with local media to learn to conserve and protect the Atlantic Ocean for future generations. Since then, our ambassadors have presented at over 130 events, most recently the Paris Peace Forum held last week, and have reached over 20,000 people. The Youth Forum and its ambassador programme has become the Alliance's most important vehicle to promote young people's competencies and skills by promoting all-Atlantic cooperation in early career training, capacity development initiatives, promoting fellowship mobility and career development opportunities. So the next intake of the youth ambassadors will be announced at the upcoming All-Atlantic Ocean Research Forum, which is taking place on the 3rd to 4th of December 2020. The forum will provide a platform for a diverse audience ranging from policymakers, research leaders, academics, civil society, entrepreneurs, and of course our youth to engage in inspirational topics relating to the Atlantic. So you can register for the forum using the link that you see on the screen here, and I'll also try and pop it into the chat box so you have it, and we really look forward to seeing you hopefully next month at the forum. So that's it from me. Thank you very much. And please do stay in touch, and you can follow the developments of DG Research and Innovation on their social media, and of course the work on of our youth ambassadors. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Laura. If you can stay with us, because actually I had foreseen a second round of questions, but I think the time is very short now. But I have to say, and people had asked whether the presentations can be available. I hope we can, of course, make those available for all those that presented. But I have just one short question, and I hope you can give us a short reply. How this dimension of the Atlantic strategy will continue under the new Horizon Europe program? Obviously, we are looking what in the next 7 years now. Can you give us a little bit the outlook for this?
Yeah, so thanks, Christoph, for the question. So hopefully Horizon Europe will be adopted once we have a multi-annual financial framework. And it's against this background then that we do hope that in the first quarter of next year that Horizon Europe will be adopted, and after that the work programme will be adopted. As is the case with Horizon 2020, the framework programme is open. Most of the projects that I briefly highlighted in my presentation are still ongoing until 2022, 2023, and we have a lot of expectations insofar as the results and deliverables, of course, which will feed into the new strategic programming and hopefully earmark funding, future funding for the All-Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance. So in addition, we have the novelties of the Horizon Europe, in Horizon Europe of the missions. So for us would be namely the mission Healthy Ocean, Seas, Coastal and Inland Waters. And in addition to the future partnership to achieve a sustainable blue economy by 2030. That partnership is in alignment with the member states' activities and the EU through Horizon Europe funding, which then is the perfect context for bringing in the whole wider all-Atlantic community. So that's how we would see it for the moment.
Okay, thank you very much. It is interesting, obviously, to look into the next years, and we get reassurances that research and innovation will continue to be a very strong element in the action plan. Thank you very much, Laura, again, and I will go back to our first speaker, if I may, for a short question also to Liam. I hope you are still with us, because if you can give us a short reply as well, although the question is quite open, how can we attract more investment in ports, in the Atlantic ports particularly?
It's a really good question, Christos, because investment in our ports is as important as investment in our roads and schools and just general infrastructure. Economies can't function without investment in ports. So I think there are a number of things that we could do. We could seek to de-risk the investment somewhat for outside investors by making it very clear what we're trying to achieve, setting out the roadmaps for what we want to do. The challenges are absolutely clear, of course, and at the highest level of aggregation, what we're trying to achieve in Europe and within the Atlantic strategy is efficient, the most sustainable ports in the world, in Europe. That gives Europe a huge competitive advantage for our economies. So we have to clear the way for investment to flow. Clarity about our objectives will help in that regard. From a funding point of view, one of the previous speakers outlined the range of funding streams that are available, and if those funding streams could be more tailored around the specifics of port development, which is a difficult investment proposition because the investment tends to be lumpish, it comes in big chunks periodically. It's not really incremental investment that can be managed, on a piecemeal basis. The investment is made, it goes in, maybe for 20, 30 years out into the future. And that makes attracting that type of investment difficult. So if our funding streams could recognize that, the difficult nature of the funding, and could be aligned with the critical path of those, that type of port development, I think that could be hugely helpful. And I think we're probably stuck for time. So I'll finish at that, Christos.
Well, thank you very much, Liam, and that gives me room for one more question. Then the pillar coordinators, I will go to Anna, actually, and I have a question for her. How will Blue Schools contribute to the development of blue careers? If you can enter a bit more in detail on that, although I think you were very good in the first part, can you give us a little bit more in that respect in a couple of minutes? Anna.
Well, for having a lot of young people working about the ocean and working about the ocean in all disciplines, meaning in different topics, different thematics, that will make them understand the importance of the ocean and the importance of blue careers. On the other hand, it is known by specialists of education that you mostly choose your career between 12 and 14 years old. So if we just insist only on the universities or upper levels of education, you are already talking to those who have chosen a long time ago, and so you are talking to the converted. So if you want to increase the number of blue skills and show blue skills, you have to start earlier. And for that, schools are very important. Schools are also important because teachers generally help parents in counseling about careers, and children get counsel about careers. So if teachers are informed about the importance of blue careers, they will advise their students in a more informed way. So these are just one, there are many dimensions, but this is just one of them.
Thank you very much, Anna. I'm sure we will have plenty of opportunities to come back to that at next year's event, but obviously in between. As I say, the work happens between the events, so I'm sure we will have many things to report at next year's stakeholders conference. And I would like to ask also a question to Oleg. From your perspective, are there common topics in which to collaborate between the different pillars? I think it is in every strategy there is interaction between objectives, but can you give us a bit your perspective in that respect, Oleg?
Yeah, thank you, Christoph. Yes, we think that there are interactions, and I think that we've heard about them in the different presentations. But to be specific, for example, we think that with the pillar 1, we have the common need of adapting the ports for, in this case, to marine renewable energies, because we will need specific services for big infrastructures such as wind turbines. We will need certain water depths to operate in ports and some other services. So these key ports will be a key infrastructures to develop marine renewable energies. On the other hand, we have the pillar 2, the literacy and the education. We need people that are qualified, but not only in research and designing the prototypes, but we also need qualified people on installation, in operation and in maintenance of the future power generation plants. So we start to we need to start with this qualification, and I think that Anna has explained very well the need of that. And in relation to the pillar 4, I think that obviously, if we want to develop the marine renewable energy sector, we have to take into account very much the environmental issues. So this is like really relevant to the sector. And in addition to that, I think that in the coming years, quite a lot of infrastructures to protect the shore will be constructed, and we should take advantage of those new constructions so we can incorporate marine renewable energies in those infrastructures. I think that we have quite a good example in the Basque Country. We have this power generation plant from waves that was a new breakwater was built in the Basque Country, in the municipality of Motrico, and we at the same time we incorporated a wave power plant there. So I think that we should bear in mind whenever we are constructing an infrastructure to think about how can we incorporate a marine renewable energy plant in there. Just for you to know that this infrastructure, we usually organize site visits to this infrastructure. Nowadays, like, it is impossible to have them on site. But if you wish, you can have this virtual visit through the web page, which is www.bmep.com. I will write it in the chat, just to have an idea of what kind of infrastructures we are talking about.
Okay, thank you very much, Oleg. I think you brought up clearly both interconnection between the pillars and also this the topic of multiple use of maritime space. Clearly, we are looking into how to make synergies happen, and I believe you have already your ideas. I'm sure we will have plenty of opportunity to discuss and develop. Then I have one last question, very, very briefly, to Philippe. Of course, you described in your presentation some project ideas, and can you tell us a little bit more of what particular projects can facilitate the implementation of the thematic pillar. So as a whole, if you can go back into this type of perspective, Philippe.
Yes, thank you, Christos. Good question. Actually, as the previous speaker said, like all the marine renewable project will involve some environmental issues and surveys and agreement from the different states or the different region on the Atlantic region. So we have this. We also have a lot to do on what I talk about the experiment regarding plastic litter. Today, we have good plans, good intention to remove the plastic from the ocean, but it starts right from its use on land. And the best thing to do is to try to avoid that it reach the sea. So there's a lot of things to do on the land-sea continuum. So that could be a project. And as I also mentioned, one of our goal would be to try to capitalize on the European assets like Copernicus. I insist on this one because it has huge potential on observing and monitoring and also helping to support the surveillance and get some insight on environmental issues on the coastal areas. So plenty of potential, plenty of collaborations that already exist on different projects, but that we need to federate and gather the key stakeholders so we can do concrete things. That's my will on this.
Okay. Thank you very much, Steve. Really, yeah, I mean, the stakeholders community in the Atlantic is very strong. I think there would be a very good basis to develop these ideas that you have. And I think all the pillar coordinators and the colleague from DG ATD gave us the overview of how the future would look like under this new action plan. I think we had a very good discussion, bringing in now to the audience what we really want to do in the next years through this Atlantic Action Plan and the future of the Atlantic Maritime Strategy. So I will not say more. I think we have the basis. We have timing, as I said from the beginning. Let's put everything in action. Let's look into the new sustainable blue economy as the right way to promote recovery and to work with maritime business in the future. So I would like then to close the debate. I cannot have more questions from the audience. I mean, the timing is tight. I have to give back the floor to the moderator because there is an award ceremony, I think, which is planned. So I prefer to close the panel here. Is it okay? I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope that we will have a very fruitful discussion until the end of the program. Thank you very much from my side.
Thank you, Christos.
Thank you, Christos, and thanks to our panelists, Liam, Anna, Olas, and Philippe and Laura. And as you said, Christos, now it is time for an awards ceremony. We will announce the winners of the Atlantic Project Awards. And to give an introduction of what the Atlantic Project Award is, we have with us the chair of the Atlantic Strategy Group, Claude Vorer. Claude, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with. Je suis avec vous. Est-ce que vous m'entendez?
Hi.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Hi. I don't speak French, but you may speak if you want.
No, I will speak French. Je voudrais juste commencer cette introduction de la cérémonie des prix Atlantiques par expliquer combien cette conférence est différente des conférences précédentes. Jusqu'à maintenant, cette cérémonie, c'était le moment le plus festif, je dois dire, de la conférence. les lauréats montés sur l'estrade, les membres du comité de sélection, qui sont les représentants des États membres au sein du comité de la stratégie atlantique, étaient aussi sur l'estrade, et il y avait vraiment un moment très euphorique dont malheureusement nous n'allons pas pouvoir profiter aujourd'hui. Mais je profite de cette introduction pour vous expliquer les problèmes que nous avons eus aussi dans nos interventions de session d'ouverture. En particulier, nous avions prévu l'intervention du président de la région de Nouvelle-Aquitaine, Monsieur Alain Rousset, qui a eu un empêchement de dernière minute pour arriver parfaitement à l'heure. Et du coup, quand il est arrivé, c'était le moment du panel de discussion des coordinateurs du pilier, et le choix a été fait de ne pas interrompre notre discussion. Donc voilà, j'en suis vraiment désolée et je nous excuse auprès de Monsieur le Président Alain Rousset, et j'espère que nous aurons l'occasion de l'entendre à un autre moment. Et en tout cas, nous le remercions de toute l'énergie qui a été mise par la Nouvelle-Aquitaine pour cette journée. Je voudrais aussi m'excuser de l'absence qui est tout à fait aussi en direct du représentant du Parlement européen. Nous avions prévu l'intervention de Monsieur Younous Omarji, et nous avons reçu hier soir tard un mot d'excuse, si je peux dire, de son directeur de cabinet. Je vais simplement vous le lire. Et voilà ce qu'il dit. « Je suis navré de devoir annuler l'intervention prévue de Monsieur Omarji suite au trilogue d'hier soir sur le règlement général des fonds qui s'est terminé tardivement. Nous devons reprendre les discussions ce matin avec la présidence allemande sur plusieurs aspects clés discutés hier soir. Veuillez bien transmettre à l'ensemble des participants présents ainsi qu'à la secrétaire générale de la CRPM, à Monsieur le Président de région, à Madame la Ministre, à Monsieur le Commissaire, les meilleures salutations du Président Omarji et ses regrets de ne pouvoir être parmi vous ce matin. Il vous souhaite tout le meilleur succès dans vos travaux. » Donc voilà, l'actualité nous a rattrapés, dépassés, mais c'est pour la bonne cause, puisque nous espérons que ce règlement et ces fonds seront finalisés rapidement et que nous aurons ce qu'il faut pour notre stratégie atlantique. Je reviens maintenant à la cérémonie proprement dite, à la cérémonie des prix atlantiques, et je voudrais insister sur le nombre de candidatures que nous avons eues, qui est absolument exceptionnel. Nous avons pas loin de 50 dossiers cette année. Et si nous avons eu autant de candidatures, c'est grâce au mécanisme d'assistance, mais pas le mécanisme d'assistance actuel qui nous permet d'avoir cette conférence aujourd'hui, à l'équipe précédente qui avait terminé son contrat au mois de juillet. Et si je l'indique, c'est d'abord pour remercier tout le monde, mais surtout pour indiquer combien nous sommes arrivés à avoir une transition sereine entre les deux mécanismes d'assistance, et je crois que ces transitions sereines, aujourd'hui, c'est important de les souligner et d'en parler. Donc, beaucoup de candidatures, une exploitation des dossiers qui était difficile, un choix qui était tout autant délicat, et nous avons opté pour des dossiers qui représentaient un bon niveau de coopération, alors que nous avions beaucoup de dossiers très intéressants, de petits candidats, si je puis dire comme ça, qui montrent à quel point l'impact local est important aussi sur cette mise en œuvre de la stratégie atlantique. Donc, nous avons des dossiers qui, les lauréats de nos prix atlantiques sont des équipes qui sont entre 20 personnes et presque la centaine. Nous avons tous les financements qui sont représentés dans ces candidatures, Horizon 2020, Interreg, le Fonds européen des affaires maritimes et de la pêche, et des cofinancements avec des industriels. Je crois que c'est important de bien le souligner. Et nous avons aussi toutes les stades d'évolution des projets. Nous aurons un projet qui est déjà terminé, mais depuis peu. Nous avons des projets qui sont en cours, des projets qui sont vraiment des projets de recherche, et des projets qui sont déjà au niveau du prototype industriel. Donc voilà, c'était l'introduction que je voulais faire sur cette cérémonie de remise de prix. Merci encore à tous les candidats, merci à tous ceux qui ont déposé un dossier de candidature, et j'espère que l'année prochaine, nous aurons tout autant, voire plus, de candidats à ce prix atlantique. Et je vous passe la parole hier.
Claude, thank you so much. Okay, it's time to announce the winners. And next to announce the winners, we will also be hearing from them. So the first pillar is devoted to projects that demonstrate corporations surrounding Atlantic port activities as gateways and hubs for the blue economy. And it showcases innovative ways to increase economic potential of the Atlantic ports. So The winner for Pillar 1 of category goes to Safer, Smart Atlantic Seafood Clusters. And here to present the project is José Manuel San Emeterio of the Conference of Peripheral Maritime Regions. José, are you with me?
Hello, yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The stage is yours.
Okay, I think the camera is coming, but I will start. First of all, thank you very much I have the privilege to receive this award. So I want to thank, first of all, the Atlantic Stakeholder Platform for this award. Of course, to the Atlantic area for providing us the resources to carry this project. And in particular, big thanks to my partners in the project that made that happen. I think we have been a really good partnership working together for the last 3 years. Also, I remember 2 years ago participating in Atlantic Stakeholder Platform Conference in Vigo, presenting the project. And I would like to have been in person this time, but of course, delighted to receiving this award, even if it's virtual. Somebody told me that I have about 5 minutes, so I'm going to seize the opportunity to explain a little bit about what's safer, but what is more important, what we want to do next. And I think here the Atlantic stakeholders have a big role. So if you can just go to the next slide, please. Why we started this project idea, why we started Safer. First, because this is the seafood sector. Safer is about providing innovation and technologies into the seafood sector. So we saw that in the participating regions that this is a big potential to improve the competitiveness of the sector by both improving innovation, improving technologies, and of course doing this transnationally because the resources and the resource can be maximized. Very quickly, you know that this is a sector with a lot of challenges and opportunities. There is going to be an increased demand of food. And of course, seafood will play a vital role also in the provision of that food demand. Next, please. How we did that, or how we are still doing this? We established originally a network of a transnational network of clusters, of seafood clusters. It was formed by the 9 partners in 5 different countries, in the 5 EU member states belonging to the Atlantic area. So we have presence in Porto, in Portugal, in Cantabria, in Spain, in Britain, in France, in Derry and Strabane, in Northern Ireland, UK, and in Donegal in Ireland. And next, please. What have we done so far, apart from a lot of more activities? I'm going to highlight here that we already created an innovation platform, including a wide catalog of more than 70 services that can be accessed through the Safer website. And this is actually a dynamic catalog, so we hope that can be growing. We are also looking for new services and for new companies and organizations providing this type of services, because this is open for everybody to publicize the services in the platform. And also, we wanted to test in real life conditions these technologies or these innovations. So we have implemented 6 pilots. You see there the type of pilots that range from application of Internet of Things for oyster farming, also to monitor environmental conditions for better farming of the oyster. Also, pilots related to logistics using digital tools for apps for tagging the oyster bags, and also the introduction, for example, of manufacturing production control systems that they can be the basis for Industry 4.0 application in the seafood sector. So all these pilots are mostly implemented. We are in the latest stages, and we see that the results are very prominent. So we would like to share. This is available for everybody. We would like to share that with the other Atlantic regions. If you go to the next one, and this is what I wanted to stress in this intervention, is that we are now in the process of trying to capitalize these results, to use these results, to share them with the other Atlantic regions, We would like to also to engage with other regions that could be interested in this type of solution. The idea is to also to expand the network into other regions, and if possible, to try to reach other companies to test this solution. So we are really looking forward to engage with other Atlantic stakeholders. Again, we wanted just to share this with you today. And once again, thank you very much. Lastly, well, you have my contact details there, of course. And we are also organizing, if you want to know more about SAFER, we are organizing a workshop at 1 o'clock, thanks to our partner CPMR, who is hosting a workshop at 1 o'clock. So we invite you to join the workshop with the SAFER approach on innovation in aquaculture. Once again, if there are questions or if you want to contact me, you have the details there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jose, and congratulations again. We're moving over to the next winner in the category of Pillar 2, which highlights the projects that promote blue skills and ocean literacy, which demonstrate the innovative ways that schools and communities and public authorities and businesses and other stakeholders can work together to build the next generation of Atlantic citizen. And the award for the second pillar goes to the Atlantic Maritime Ecosystem Network. Here to present the project is Daniel Ray. Congratulations, Daniel.
Oh, hello, thank you. Can you hear me?
And before we start, we're very short in time. So if you can manage to pitch your concept in 2 minutes, that would be amazing.
I can do. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for this award and good morning to everyone. It is a pleasure to address you all, particularly after receiving this acknowledgement, to explain very shortly what MARINETS is. MARINETS stands for Atlantic Maritime Ecosystem Network, and is about how we face maritime training at the rise of the blue economy. So the main purpose of the project is to strengthen the cooperation between maritime businesses and academia, and we have like 3 steps to approach that. First, with the design and implementation of what we call the Northwest European Atlantic Maritime Network Training Centers and Industry that try to respond to the needs of the port and maritime market and maritime curricula. And that is also has the purpose to enhance the visibility and opportunities of the blue economy and blue careers in four areas: yes, port logistics, fisheries, shipbuilding, and biotech. Central to this idea is to create this Atlantic Maritime Knowledge Center that will last beyond the project and that will act as a glue to develop all these skills and to promote blue careers in the rise of the blue economy. Just trying to make it very quick. All this will be centered around a digital platform where you can search for courses, you can receive courses, and you can also have a platform for e-learning and to organize B2B meetings between the people that is searching for jobs in the maritime industry and the industry that are seeking workers. So nothing more from me. If you want me to be quick, we are very happy to have received or been nominated and then won this award, and we hope that in the future we will be able to continue and to give rise to this platform in which we have been working very hard, and we are very hope that satisfies the needs of this collaboration between the academia and industry. So thank you very much again to the platform, and you can follow us in our website. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. What a great concept, and congratulations again. Now we're going over to the third pillar, which is related to innovative projects in the field of marine renewable energies, particularly those that accelerate our path to achieve carbon neutrality and the EU Green Deal. And the winner of the marine renewable energy pillar is Inner Ocean SL from Spain for their project W2 Power, which is the world's first multi-rotor floating wind platform for 10 MW plus. I'm sure I'm saying this correctly, but to pronounce the project, we have Pedro with us from Inner Ocean. Pedro, take the stage and congratulations.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't see if you see me. I really want to thank you, especially to the Atlantic Project Awards committee and the team that has prepared this prize for recognizing the successful testing at OpenSea of our W2 Power platform technology, and also for this beautiful trophy that I don't know if you are seeing, but we have received, and we are very happy for it. This is a big honor for Inner Ocean, a small company from the south of Spain, that we share with our partners in building this prototype, Genova, Ingeteam, and Tension Technology International. We have prepared a video, but I receiving news that it will not be reproduced.
Yes,
sorry for that. In that video, you can see. Yes, in that video you could see the. Yeah. Well, it's a pity because we were trying not to avoid the talking heads, and we were preparing this video to show the beautiful. And I invite everybody to visit our website in www.enerocean.com. And I also want to thank the funding agencies, the European Union through the Demo Wing program, CEDETI, MITECO, the British base that supported our partner Tension Technology International, Junta Andalucía, and Gobierno Canario. With the support, we were able to build this technology and to reach the level that we are now. Thank you all.
Thank you, Pedro. And the video is available on your website, right? Yeah. Congratulations.
Not yet, but we will put it there. Yes.
Hi,
okay.
Hi, Iria, Pedro, Catherine from the team and from the organizing team. Yes, I apologize because we're not able to show the video right now, but we will actually send a link to the video to everyone in this conference. And I just have to say, because we had the advanced preview, it is actually a really good video that shows you why this W2 Power is actually really innovative. It is the world's first multi-rotating platform for more than 10 megawatts, and we see a lot of market potential. So we are actually going to send this video to everybody, and we are also going to find another way to play it. So thank you so much, Pedro.
Thank you to everybody, and congratulations to all the other winners.
Thank you, Pedro, and make sure to watch that video. So the fourth pillar considers the relationship between societies and our ecosystems, and is related to projects that secure our costs, build resiliency, and ensure the health of our ocean resources. So the award for coastal resilience and healthy oceans goes to Ronad Cox of the University of Dublin for her project on understanding the role of storm waves in moving mega gravel and shaping cost as a way to develop coastal resilience. Ronad is here to present the project, and if you can manage to do it in 2 minutes, that will be wonderful. And congratulations, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, and thanks very much to the organizers of the conference and to the committee for the Atlantic Project Awards. I'm extremely honored to receive this award. And I work at Williams College in Massachusetts, and I have an appointment also at UCD in Dublin. So this is really a transatlantic cooperation funded by the National Science Foundation. The slides are not advancing for me. What's the?
Can anyone?
I thought I had the control.
There it is.
Okay, and I have a number of collaborators, and not listed here, but also very important is the Marine Institute in Galway. We study coastal boulder deposits. You can see there a 40-ton boulder that's 12 meters above high water, and it's 95 meters inland. And waves built that big rampart of huge boulders high above sea level Coastal boulder deposits are different from beaches. They are separated from the ocean by a bare bedrock platform. Some of them are very high up above at the tops of cliffs. Some of them are hundreds of meters inland, up to 220 meters in places. And this is what the characteristic deposit looks like, a steep-fronted ridge made of boulders. The Mega Gravel project studies these. We gather data from these boulder deposits to try and understand how storm waves affect coasts, because the locations of these very large boulders are pinning points for the specific energies that are exerted by storm waves at those locations. And there's a person there in that yellow circle for scale. What happened there? Okay. Previously, people had argued that these could not be storm deposits. They must have been put there in the past by tsunami. But over the last decade, the Mega Gravel project has been monitoring these and collecting before and after evidence showing that storms do move these rocks. And I show here a before and after 2013 and 2014 picture where you can see that rocks weighing many tons and up to tens of tons in some cases. And this particular location is 17 meters above the highest high water mark and 120 meters inland. These were moved by storms in that winter. The very largest boulder that we've shown to be displaced by storms is 620 tons. And this rock here on Inishmore in the Aran Islands is the largest rock that's ever been demonstrated to be moved by storm waves. How are these relevant to healthy oceans and resilient coasts? Well, storm wave interactions with coasts are really poorly understood. And what we are doing is relating specific storm events to specific work that is done at coasts. And coastal protection structures often, this is not a coastal boulder deposit, this is a coastal protection structure, and many of them are sort of coastal boulder deposit analogs. And so we hope that the data that we collect may help engineers. As Phil Mombay pointed out, one of the key goals is nature-based solutions for coastal protection, and that is what we are trying to work on. So we want to help, and I've put a couple of questions here. If engineers want to reach out to us to say what field data they need to validate their experiments, if policymakers and planners want to reach out to us for information that they can use, my contact information is there. Once again, I am very honored to have received this award, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Ronald, and congratulations again. So our last and fifth award goes to projects that are developing international cooperation, and it highlights the value of Atlantic collaborations and show just how much we can achieve in tackling the challenges we face today. So if we reach out across our borders, the winner for the award of developing international cooperation for the Atlantic is Atlas, a transatlantic assessment and deep sea ecosystem based on spatial management plan for Europe by UETPCLG. Here to present Atlas project is project manager Murray Roberts. Congratulations, Murray.
Thank you so much. My name is Murray Roberts. I'm speaking to you today from Edinburgh in Scotland, where we take our friends in Europe really seriously, our partnerships in Europe really seriously. So we are honoured and delighted to have been awarded the Developing International Cooperation Award from you today. So huge honour. If I could go to the next slide, please. I want to talk really briefly about the Atlantic. We have heard a lot about coastal Atlantic, but most of the Atlantic is the deep sea. It's the deep Atlantic, beset by many problems. Some of these we've heard about, others are emerging, like deoxygenation, as huge stresses and threats. The deep sea is the place we know least about. It's an emerging frontier for blue growth activities. The Atlas Consortium came together to understand deep Atlantic ecosystems and put in place sustainable management plans for the future. The next slide, please. The consortium is very large, and we focus on the ecosystems you can see on the slide, the deep corals, sponges, seamounts, and vents, iconic, important, fragile, and vulnerable. Next slide, please. The work we do is embedded in international partnership. It's so important to us. The Galway Statement allowed us to bring Europeans, Canadians, and Americans all together to work in a unified and consistent manner. The next slide, please. Here we are, a few years back. I felt a lot younger back then. A fantastic team came together in Edinburgh. We were awarded through Horizon 2020 Blue Growth #1. We pulled together 24 partners. The Canadian government joined us. and we started work to better understand these deep Atlantic ecosystems with case studies spanning the entire Atlantic basin in the North Atlantic. The next slide, please. Our objectives, very briefly: advance understanding of those ecosystems. What do we need to know? Improve our capacity to monitor and predict shifts in ecosystems and populations. Thirdly, to transform that data into tools that underpin effective governance. And finally, to develop scenario test cost-effective management strategies. I can't represent all of that work in what was 5 minutes, it's probably 2 minutes. So please go to the next slide and I'll do my best to summarize our approach. We looked at all aspects of this equation, but critically we include people at the heart of what we do. We looked at socioeconomics. We looked at people's willingness to pay for conservation. We were surprised. European and American and Canadian citizens were more willing to pay than we ever anticipated. We engaged strongly with policy and we developed ocean literacy guidelines and materials. Please see our website for more. The next slide, please. Our stakeholders were varied. We teamed with those that are active in the deep ocean, with the oil and gas sector, with fisheries, with networks in Canada and the USA to bring our consortium together. I think that visualizes quickly the international and industrial stakeholder base of the Atlas Consortium. The next slide, please. If you want information, please visit our website. Please see the deliverables and the 2 synthetic reports that summarize our results and the policy implications. At its core, that's what Atlas was doing. It was impacting and informing policy, and our policy report summarizes that. I can't do it today, unfortunately. The next slide, please. Our vital statistics, as I draw this to a conclusion: we're a team of 72 researchers. It's my honor to represent them today. Thank you so much. 10 PhD students, 23 workshops, a network of over 45 expeditions. We've published over 100 papers by now, with many more in press. The media reach through conventional mainstream media is estimated at over 100 million people. The next slide, please. I want to end by thanking the entire gang. Atlas is a project that had people at its heart from the get-go and all the way through, from the early career researchers through to the older academics. Next slide, please. And to end, I want to give the good news that we move forward. Many of our team and our ideas take us into a new era of the All-Atlantic framework that Laura explained to us. We run a new project until the end of 2023 called Atlantic. Please follow us to see how the project evolves, develops, and moves forward. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Murray, and congratulations. And to wrap everything up, or wrap the award up, we have made a video that we will show right now.
And as we are waiting for Guzdam to load the video on the project awards, I just wanted to say that Atlas actually also sent us a 2.5-minute video about their project and about what it's actually done. It's a massive collaboration effort that has really generated a lot of very good results. So we are going to send this video to everyone, and I really encourage you to watch it. They've got a very interesting and very significant path forward. And this is an invitation for everyone to come and to follow them. And now on to the video. Thank you, Guzdam.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining the part one of this session. There will now be a break from, until 1 o'clock, and then the parallel workshop starts based on the 4 pillars of the Atlantic Action Plan. And there is a closing ceremony at 4, so I hope you will all be back. And in the meantime, also make sure to book all these 101 meetings. This is a great place to network and meet people from all over Europe. So thank you to all the speakers and for watching today, and see you soon. Ciao.
Oui, Ludovic, tu es encore là? Ok, non, c'était une tentative, il est parti aussi. Ok.
Oui, Claude, tu m'entends?
Ok, je crois que tu étais parti.
Non, j'étais là, mais j'avais le son de couper. Je te parlais, mais sans avoir remis le son.
Ok, bon, c'était un peu stressant ce matin.
Oui, comme tu dis, si ça s'était bien terminé, entre guillemets, ça serait mieux. Mais bon, écoute, c'est dommage, mais je pense que ça nous servira de leçon. Je pense qu'on a voulu être un peu trop ambitieux et on aurait dû prendre l'option de l'enregistrement parce que c'est vrai que c'est compliqué. Mais on a laissé le CAB tranché. Le CAB avait dit au départ que ça serait bon. Donc, écoute, on a eu confiance et puis finalement, ça l'a pas fait. Mais bon, écoute, tant pis. Ça fait partie des aléas de ce travail. Hein. Tant pis, c'est pas trop grave. L'essentiel, c'est que la conférence se passe bien.
Ouais, et ça va, il est pas parti vexé, si je puis dire?
Non, du tout. Il est pas parti vexé. Je pense qu'il y a eu une urgence aussi qui s'est greffée. Donc ça n'a pas arrangé parce qu'il normalement il était disponible jusqu'à 11 heures. Hein. Et
Ouais.
finalement il est parti plus tôt parce qu'il a eu un appel urgent. Et du fait de cet appel urgent, si tu veux, du coup après c'était plus la peine qu'il revienne. C'est dommage parce que ça s'est pas joué à grand chose. Hein. Ça a dû se jouer à 5 minutes près. À 5 minutes près, il aurait pu intervenir après Eleni Marianou. Donc, et il est arrivé 5 minutes trop en retard. Après, je pense que s'il avait pu prendre la parole après le premier intervenant du panel, mais je crois que l'information n'avait pas dû lui arriver. Donc, il a donné la parole juste après. Et ben là, c'était foutu. Ça fait pas jouer à grand chose, mais bon, écoute, tant pis, c'est comme ça. Hein, ça fait partie des aléas. On a pris un risque avec le direct, surtout en visio, parce qu'en physique, c'est moins risqué. Mais en visio, c'est vrai qu'effectivement, bon, pour l'avenir, en tout cas, ça nous servira un peu de leçon, quoi, en gros. Mais bon, écoute, l'essentiel, c'est que la conférence se passe bien et que nos intervenants aux ateliers derrière et que les participants, tous les invités, là, il y a quand même 500 participants, beaucoup de chez nous. Donc, l'essentiel, c'est que des contenus. Oui.
Il y a 500 inscrits, je pense qu'il y a moins de participants de ce que je vois moi, hein, mais
ouais, il y avait 500 inscrits. Tu en vois combien, toi? C'est vrai que j'ai pas le
je pense qu'on était à moins de 200 participants dans ce que j'ai vu quand j'ai regardé.
D'accord. Bon, c'est bien quand même.
Ouais, c'est quand même bien, ouais, entre des inscriptions et... Bon, écoute, ça se passe bien. Donc, je suis vraiment désolée, je savais pas comment récupérer. On s'échangeait des messages avec Catherine, on essayait de voir, mais effectivement, c'était compliqué. Après, c'était trop tard. Enfin, et c'est vrai que le fait qu'il ait dû repartir assez vite, ça a pas aidé. L'important, c'est qu'il soit pas, qu'il ait pas été vexé, quoi, en fait.
Non, il est pas vexé, t'inquiète pas de problème. Il y a pas de souci. Il sait que voilà, qu'il est arrivé en retard, etc. Donc il y a pas de.
Alors, il y a Fanny qui me signifie que tout le monde nous entend, donc on va peut-être arrêter.
Oui.
Et l'Université du Pays Basque, le projet I3, Océan I3, sur l'innovation éducative et afin de contribuer à la réduction de la pollution sur la côte transfrontalière basque-aquitaine. Encore une thématique qui a été abordée aujourd'hui. Et enfin, le projet d'IADES, avec mon partenaire Nouvelle-Aquitaine, l'Institut national de recherche pour l'agriculture, l'alimentation et l'environnement, INRAE, qui a pour objectif de cartographier la répartition actuelle des poissons migrateurs et des services écosystémiques, qui rendent ainsi que d'évaluer les tendances d'évolution face au changement climatique. La liste est longue. Tous les autres partenaires aussi ont la capacité à faire ressortir leurs projets, leurs acteurs. Ces projets fleurissent sur notre territoire, mais également sur tous les territoires que recouvre la stratégie maritime atlantique. Au regard des éléments stratégiques qui ont été évoqués aujourd'hui, il convient de maintenir ce niveau d'ambition et de continuer à explorer toutes les sources de financement possibles. Qu'il s'agisse justement du programme Interreg, du futur programme Interreg Espace Atlantique, du futur programme POCTEFA, le tout en lien avec la Commission Atlantique et bien évidemment avec la stratégie maritime atlantique afin d'optimiser les ressources. Pour terminer mon intervention, je tiens à remercier chaleureusement la présidence française pour son travail au travers du secrétariat général de la mer et son secrétaire général, Denis Robin. Également adresser tout mon soutien à la nouvelle présidence irlandaise pour l'année à venir et qui permettra notamment de consolider tout ce qui a été dit aujourd'hui et d'inscrire la stratégie maritime atlantique dans la durée. So, good luck to you.
You are on mute.
Thank you for noticing. Thank you so much, Mathieu. And thank you again for organizing this. And now we will go over to get a message from Denise Robin, General Secretary of the Sea. And after that, we will be hearing from Claude again. So let's see what Denise has to say.
Mesdames, Messieurs, je suis
Eh bien, merci Monsieur le secrétaire général pour cette intervention. Merci aussi pour cette conclusion qui était, je dois le dire, inattendue. Cette journée a été pour nous une journée pleine d'imprévus. Je pense que ça ne s'est pas forcément remarqué, donc tant mieux. C'était une journée difficile et intense. Je dois dire, en ce qui me concerne, que c'est la 7e conférence des parties prenantes à laquelle j'assiste. C'est une nouveauté c'est la première qui est pour moi et pour tous une conférence virtuelle. J'espère vraiment que c'est la dernière parce que il manque beaucoup de choses à cette conférence, malgré tous les efforts qu'on y a mis. Le fait de retrouver tout le monde, de se rencontrer, de pouvoir échanger en direct est vraiment quelque chose qui est indispensable pour le bien-être de tous et pour le bien-être de cette stratégie. Donc j'espère vraiment que l'année prochaine, nous serons dans une autre configuration. Alors on a parlé d'enthousiasme, on a parlé on n'a pas parlé d'émotion, mais moi je peux en parler parce que j'en ai parlé tout à l'heure lors de la remise des prix de la stratégie atlantique. Je ne m'attendais pas à ce qu'il y ait d'émotion aussi dans la clôture. Donc merci à tous et merci encore pour l'organisation par le mécanisme d'assistance. Et je vais passer maintenant la parole à une amie, à une collègue et à la future présidence de la stratégie atlantique, à Difneke, avec qui nous travaillons depuis longtemps en parfaite harmonie. Et je sais que cet enthousiasme et cette pugnacité est entièrement partagée. Donc, Daphné, je te passe maintenant la parole pour expliquer la prochaine présidence finlandaise. Et merci à tous.
Merci bien, Claude. Good evening, everybody. Firstly, congratulations to everybody involved in today's conference. I think the presentations, projects, workshops we've seen today fully illustrate the unique opportunities and obligations that exist as we continue with our work on the development of the maritime community of the Atlantic area under the Atlantic Maritime Strategy. In particular, I'd like to thank the French presidency team, Nouvelle-Aquitaine, and the assistance mechanism team in PwC for organising such an interesting, informative and educational event. The current challenges we face in terms of COVID recovery, a green future and a newly shaped EU demand that we set ourselves up for success. We don't have a choice. I believe that as we work together, the Atlantic Strategy Committee, the pillar coordinators and task forces, the Atlantic regions, alongside the Atlantic stakeholders that are here today, the academics, researchers, the project leaders and the EU Commission services, all of the different DGs, we can provide that solid foundation that is required for success. I'd like to thank Claude for her and Mathilde, her colleague, for their work this year as they chaired the Atlantic Strategy Group. Claude has expertly steered the group through the challenging waters of 2020, and to finish the year with such a positive event today is testament to the work that has been done throughout the year. Ireland will attempt to build on the work of this group and on the work that has already begun under the Atlantic Action Plan 2.0, expanding the scope of the group, more visibly aligning the strategy with funding sources and with broader policy initiatives such as the upcoming new approach to the sustainable blue economy are issues that are on the horizon for 2021. I, for one, am very enthused and excited and positive after today's event and optimistic about the future. Therefore, I hope to be in a position to welcome you all to this stakeholder conference in Ireland next year, where a very warm Irish Cave Míle Fáilte awaits you all. In the meantime, I hope you and you stay safe and well, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Ilya, you are on mute.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you so much, Difna, and thank you so much to Matthew and Claude and Denis Robin. I think that's it for today, and I just want to give you also some information. Yes, we would love for you to fill out the feedback form, and there is a QR code, and there is also an online feedback form that will be sent to you by email. And also, don't forget that you can still book the 101 meetings or the sessions with the people that you would like to connect with on the platform, and it's open until Friday. and check out the Converse exhibition, and also all the presentations will be sent to you by email, and the sessions has been recorded, so we will post some material for the next weeks. And yes, you can check the videos and the workshops outcomes on atlanticstrategy.eu. So thank you all for joining in on this closing session. I hope you had a great day, and we had an amazing, tons of good speakers with us, and I am sure the parallel workshop sessions was great as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.